Greetings, everybody, and welcome to The Effect. This is Harmony speaking. And what I'm going to be doing now is I made these videos a long time ago, but it was back in the day when I was using my phone and it didn't come through very clearly. So this is my Throne of God series. I also call it AKA Physics of the Bible. If you've been following me or listening to me, I constantly preach if you want to understand the Mandela effect, you have to understand the physics. And I do have a Christian background and a physics background. So basically, what I've done in this paper is I quote the Bible and then I say, this is the physics. And I quote the Bible and I say, here's the physics. So I'm using the Bible, the book of Revelations to me, some call it Revelation now, and I am basically proving that all the most advanced physics known to mankind is literally in the Bible. And so this is what this series is about. It is called The Throne of God, elucidates the theory of everything and unifies and fulfills Einstein's unification theory, now explained by the theory of harmony. This is a copyright. I did this back in 1999. Good old all rights reserved. No part of this work may be reproduced or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic or mechanical, including photocopying and recording, or by any information storage or retrieval device without the express permission in writing from me. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the table of contents. Um, we're just going to read a couple pages tonight, and then we're going to open to the comments. It's a 26-page paper, but believe it or not, to go through everything takes 15 videos, because after all the writing, which is not too long, then we get into all this physics, and you see all these diagrams. We're going to be getting into all these diagrams. I'm going to be explaining string theory to you, supersymmetry, M theory, and it is all in the Bible. For real, I'm going to explain to you how all this most advanced physics known to mankind is all in the Bible, and I'm going to explain it to you in a very simple way. So let's go ahead and begin with Einstein's unification theory. Some of you may know what it is, some of you may not. So let's go ahead. Albert Einstein, he passed away with the notes to the unification theory on his desk at Princeton University. He was working on unifying all the forces of the universe. Everything we can see, experience in this world can be explained by four forces: the strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force, the electromagnetic, and gravity. I know some people are going to disagree with gravity, but this is a mainstream physics paper where we can appeal to the party line. In reality, there really isn't gravity, but that's another story. So anyway, so each of these four forces is a special field of study in the world of physics. The problem is that each field has a different theory that by themselves are perfectly sound. The problem arises when one tries to unify them. Working within a very limited dimensional universe, height, width, depth, and time, science has not found an acceptable way to unify the four forces. Einstein, like most of us, he concluded that these four forces must have an origin point. After all, you just can't have four forces that enter our universe out of nothing, and further, they can't just enter the four forces in different directions originating out of nothing. That defies all logic, people. The only logical conclusion is that these four forces must have an origin point from within our universe. Yeah, he was kind of wrong on that one, but that's where Einstein went wrong. His premise was his hypothesis. They weren't all encompassing. So unfortunately, because he was looking at it from the wrong perspective, Einstein never could arrange these four forces in a manner that would unify them and find an origin point. So now let's take a look at the Bible for some expanded ways to view the universe. The book of John, chapter 14, verse 2, Jesus says, quote, "In my father's house, excuse me, In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. Now, theologians would interpret mansions as literally meaning dwelling places. They would further state that a better translation is rooms, conveying the idea that there are ample space in heaven for all who come to Jesus as Savior. Or could this be a hint, just a hint, at a deeper spiritual truth? So now, let's look at a four-dimensional universe that we live in, and let's pretend they're rooms. All the mathematical and physical equations represent furniture, for example. So this is where I'm trying to bring advanced physics down to the kindergarten level, if you will. So let's just say all the mathematical and physical equations are furniture. And then, for example, 2 plus 2 equals 4 would be a chair in this example. And geometry is a couch. The laws of gravity is a dining room table, equals MC squared is a refrigerator, and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm equating physics equations is like furniture, in other words. And the thing is that Einstein and others insisted that all the laws of the universe, which are equations, or what I'm going to say, furniture, to make it simple, for example, they have to fit inside a three-dimensional universe or rooms, for example. The problem is that there was and still is enough furniture for an entire mansion. So Einstein and others, they went about trying to cram all this furniture for an entire mansion into a little room. Literally, they're taking all the furniture that picture your biggest mansion, and they're trying to take all that furniture in the mansion and they're trying to cram it into a room. Oh boy, they tried hard. I'm telling you. So first they tried standing a couch up on its side. This is like, these are equations. I'm relating equations to furniture here for simplicity. So you imagine they're like trying to stand the couch up on its side against the wall. They put a coffee table on its side, the refrigerator in the corner. They stack chairs on top, boxes, until they just run out of room every time. And they keep insisting that it almost fit. It has to fit. And they try only again with a different arrangement, a different order, only to fail every single time. Now I don't know about you, but I've tried to put my stuff in the storage once before. So if you've ever tried to put your furniture into a storage, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to cram all your crap into furniture. And the thing is, the problem is that the furniture only looks natural laid out in a house. You shove it in a storage unit, it's not natural that way. You might be able to cram it all into a storage unit, but it's just not natural. Nor is it functional. It's not functional at all. So when it comes to cramming all the laws of physics into a tiny little room, not only would it be unnatural, but the physicists could not even get it to fit in the first place. It's easy to take furniture from just maybe one room in the mansion and cram it into a studio apartment, you know, but it's just impossible to fit all the furniture of a mansion into a storage unit the size of a studio apartment. You just can't do it. It's simple to take just gravity and fit into a three-dimensional universe, or to only squeeze the laws of quantum physics into it. There just isn't enough room in a three-dimensional universe to fit all the laws of physics into it. So Einstein, one of the greatest minds of all time, tried again and again and again, but he just couldn't ever get it to fit. In fact, Albert Einstein spent the last 30 years of his life trying to unify the four forces. Einstein passing on made these theories he's working on available for others and to examine, bring in new ideas to the table, because Einstein, on a backstory, his theory of relativity, he presented it to, all the greatest minds in a lecture hall, and one of the mathematicians believed Einstein, and actually he saw the theory of relativity before Einstein. But because he was nice about it and said, hey, because Einstein gave me the idea and I would have never been able to work on these equations, I would have never been able to solve the theory of relativity unless Einstein mentioned it to me. So he succeeded and let Einstein take all the credit. So Einstein didn't even solve the theory of relativity. It was this other mathematician. But anyway, I think I got off track here. What was I saying? So for the first time, we were able to see Einstein's notes because he kept them hidden. He was afraid someone would steal his work once again. So Einstein was right in concept, but the problem was that the parameters to his hypothesis, once we knock down all the parameters that we are trying to work within a three-dimensional universe, which is a unification of the four forces, they could begin to take shape. So now there were enough rooms. Basically, they knocked down the walls, as I always say, knock down that box, knock down the lid, knock down the four walls, go beyond and look back down. So that's what these new physicists began to do. And once they expanded the equations beyond the third dimension and fourth and fifth and sixth and all this stuff, now for the first time they had enough rooms. In other words, they had a mansion. Instead of insisting that all the laws of physics had to fit into a little tiny universe that we can see, touch, hear, smell, and taste, for the very first time, physicists were really willing to recognize that there could be other dimensions that we are completely unaware of, and we cannot even perceive them. So by having a hypothesis that there were no limitations, so the first time the field of physics said there's no limitations, we began a new era of theoretical physics. Excuse me. So the new field, the first one that came along, was called string theory. It really showed great promise, and well, it almost faded away until it had a rebirth called supersymmetry. What's the difference, you ask? Well, that's something we can research on your own. For now, let's try to focus on the important issues. String and supersymmetry theory both prove in theory that there are four forces, and all the laws of physics must begin to unify with the six-string theory. So at the sixth dimension, they began to realize that all these forces came together, and we called this the harmonic frequency of the universe. So they discovered at the sixth dimension where everything came together, and there was this, what is known as the harmonic frequency. So in other words, with the existence of a sixth dimension, the biggest problem was that there wasn't an origin point. We still couldn't find an origin point with a six-dimensional model. But we did find this harmonic frequency, what is known as the sea of glass in the Bible. As the dimensions were increased and broadened, they found that all the furniture could fit in a 10-dimensional universe, along with the elusive origin point. At last, scientists had their long sought-after theory that unified all the four forces, the laws of physics, and found the origin point of it all. For our example, they now had enough rooms to fit all the furniture of a mansion in. What's the problem, you ask? Well, now we have broken through all the limitations and limited thinking and expanded the parameters of our universe to be 10 dimensions. And then they said, okay, why stop there? So they carried out these equations. So these theoretical physicists continued to expand the universe to the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21, 22, 23, 24, and the 25th dimension, and it never came back together again. But after the 10 dimension, the equations completely just fell apart. And then finally, at the 26th dimension, all the equations came back together again. At this point, it appeared that there must be exactly 10 or 26 dimensions. And they said, why stop there, you ask? Well, they didn't. They continued to expand the equations out to infinity. To no avail, the equations never came back together again. The conclusion was that there must be exactly 10 or 26 dimensions. The problem is which? And why isn't there more than 26? Because they expanded the 26th dimension out to infinity, and it never came back together again. The second problem is that the enormous amount of energy that is required to test this experiment, it's 10 to the negative 26 Planck energy. That's an amazing amount of energy. So this energy is not yet available, so we can't even begin to experimentally prove or disprove this theory. This is where the debate of the greatest minds of our world begins. We are no longer looking for the unification theory. Rather, we are looking for the theory of everything. Another quest is to determine the geometric shape of the universe. You're about to read how the Bible not only describes the moment before the beginning of creation, but it also gives the geometric shape of it and one of the most advanced mathematical logarithms and physics constants in the universe. Using the Bible and this geometric shape of the beginning of our universe, we can see how the universe was collapsed to create the event known as the Big Bang. I know a lot of people disagree with that. Knowing the geometrical shape of this moment, we can see how the universe expanded, giving us the geometric shape of our universe today, hence sacred geometry. And it's in the Bible, folks, sacred geometry. Further, the book of Revelation, chapter 4 in the Bible, is really a description of the geometric layout of the universe. So I'll get into that. Revelation chapter 4 is a complete geometric layout of the universe and describes our universe to a T, and it's in the Bible. Once the shape is established, it can be used as a computer, literally, more advanced than the D-Wave computer. The physics and the geometry I'm going to show you in this paper are more advanced than a D-Wave computer. To confirm some of the most world-renowned physics theories of our day. More astounding, it provides the means necessary to break through where all theories have fallen short. That is my theory of harmony. And I'm going to stop there. So, Began, is there any questions in the chat?
I don't see any. The closest thing I can find is, yes, it seems it's coinciding with CERN. How ironic, huh?
I have a question.
Yeah.
This paper was written in 1999.
Yeah.
Would you change anything in it?
Say again?
Would you change anything in the paper since, are there, it was written in 1999, so if you were writing it today, would you change anything?
No, I would add to it, and I have added to it. There's a revision of this paper, so it's not that it would change. I made another revision.
So is the revision available to us also?
Is there what?
Is the revision available to us also?
I made a video on it. I made it so long ago I couldn't tell you what video it is, but yeah, I made a video saying M theory explained. Basically, I made a video M theory explained, and I explained how it's a derivative of all my physics.
So what are the major changes from the one in 1999 and the updated one?
Oh well, M theory became more predominant after I wrote that paper. So then I wrote a paper on how M theory is a direct derivative of my paper, and basically proved
Okay.
how they got M theory is a direct derivative of my physics, and my physics explains M theory as well. So once this was written kind of like in the foreground of M theory. So when M theory became more prominent, I wrote a paper on how they derived all of M theories right off of this paper. So anything else from the chat? I think I'm going to end the video.
I don't see any more questions in the chat.
Yeah, let's chat away.
I could just ask, what about Stephen Hawking? Has he discredited string theory at this point?
And everybody's expanded, and string theory is an old theory. Everyone has expanded from it, and now we're on the M theory. There's a guy who finally has discovered there's more than 4 forces. There's actually 8, which is in my theory. So there's a new physicist on board who's said there's more than 4 forces. Because in my paper there is 8 forces that I discuss. So I unify the 4 forces. M3 was a derivative, but it's not the truth of my work, and it was designed to hide the truth from you, basically.
No, and what is the relationship between M theory and the Mandela effect, if any, if there is any relationship?
I'm sorry, I was reading a text. What did you say?
Is there any relationship between the Mandela effect and M theory?
Well, I made a video on the Aleister Crowley symbol, and I described how the Aleister Crowley symbol works and how they manipulated the universe and they split dimensions and they created the 8th and 9th dimension. So I did make a video on that about how the universe was manipulated. So once you get through my paper, which is rather long, then you get into M theory, and then I talk about how they split dimensions, and then I also get in pi is also increasing, and I made another video quantum physics as to why pi is increasing. So these are videos I've made.
We have some questions from the chat. US like but like he says that you said that there's some computers. How do we use those symbols now?
They're designed to wake you up. They reach into your soul, to your higher self, your true creator and being. My diagrams are designed to wake you up.
And Ed Ray says, what does Harmony think is causing this best guess?
The what? Well, what's causing it? My best guess. Boy, that's another long video. I made a whole bunch of videos on what the Mandela effect is and why the Mandela effect is happening, and I made several videos on that. There's probably in the chat just don't know my whole work. I mean, I have like 100 videos. It's rather extensive. The thing is, I've been doing this, for over a year, and I've made a lot of videos. If you found me over a year ago and you go through my whole sequence of videos, you get caught up. But the thing is, they're kind of jumbled. My channels are a little mixed up, but I need to create a playlist. I really need to create a playlist.
Yeah. Array Sunshine asked, can you explain the splitting of dimensions?
Well, okay. I will answer that question, even though I made a video on it. How do you remember the name of that video? The splitting dimensions. Oh boy. Oh, there's 2 ways of going that one. I don't. Well, that's like advanced physics. Crap. I could almost go there. Let me screen share so you can see my screen again. Can you see my screen right now? Can you see the paper?
Yes.
Okay. My painting is the universe before this universe, and basically this this line doesn't exist in the painting that I showed on my diagrams. And these spikes right here, can you see how I'm circling the spikes?
Yeah.
These spikes do not exist in universe one. Well, there's universe zero, universe one. This is one universe two. Basically, they learn how to this in the center symbol here is the Aleister Crowley symbol. I didn't draw it on purpose; it just showed up. So this is at the ninth dimensional level, and they learned how to get into the ninth dimension, tap into the 10th. They can't go into the 10th, but they learn how to access it, and they drew power from the four forces, and they learned how to split right here. They split dimensions, and they created a reverb effect. So when it went back to God, everything seemed normal. So they were actually very brilliant at splitting dimensions and creating a relay system. So when it bounced back to God, we knew none the wiser. they they managed to manipulate the universe while weren't looking, and they split dimensions and they created this right here, the eighth and ninth dimension, which excuse me, they created the ninth and 10th dimension. The field of general relativity was supposed to have 8 dimensions. Now today has 10, and this is quantum physics, which has 10 dimensions. If you count the intersections and you take your time, you can count 10 intersections. It was only supposed to have 8. So they learned how to manipulate. They busted into they used the Aleister Crowley symbol. They busted into the ninth dimension, accessed the 10th, sucked the power from the four forces, achieving what is necessary called the Planck negative 10 energy, and actually split dimensions and manipulated the entire universe. And that's what we're dealing with today. We are in the process of shutting down the 10th and ninth dimension and trying to bring this universe back to the 8th dimension that was supposed to be. Because when these beings got in here and basically created this stuff, they created what's known as we call it the maintenance deck, and it's not known to physical beings, and they can hang out in this maintenance decks, and they can affect reality from above, if you will, from the 8th dimension into ours. Actually, the maintenance deck's more like in the 7th dimension, but um, anyway, from these higher dimensions, they affect our dimension, and we are none to the wiser, and we are asleep, and we need to wake up to who we truly are and take back control of this place. That was a rather advanced, high-level overview, but I hope you understood it.
Yeah.
And when you go through my paper, I explain this more. It's it's rather lengthy paper. And there's you can see this. There's tons of diagrams. So I go through all these diagrams in my paper, and which I plan to do again. It's also available on YouTube right now, and you can download this paper as well. So I go into all this extremely advanced physics, and I even get into the dark matter, dark energy, and everything. I pretty much cover everything in the universe. It's just most folks don't want to take the time, unfortunately, to go through all this. But once you understand all this advanced physics, then you can understand the high level. It's kind of like the puzzle, you draw these little 4 dots, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, make a box. You say the person, connect all the dots without lifting your pencil. Most people can think of it because you have to go outside the box and draw in, and then you go outside the box again, and then you go outside the box again, and then you go back in. See, nobody ever told you when you draw the 4 lines you had to stay inside the box. And when you ask this question, people, hey, here's like a tic-tac-toe square, connect all the 4 dots without lifting your pencil. And people go, they go here and here, and they're stuck in this box. And the thing is, you go outside the box and in, and you go out. I never said you had to stay in the box. You go outside and outside, and by going outside the box, you can solve the most advanced equations known to the universe. It's just the thing is that folks are kind of caught in a box. They're bouncing around the walls and not realizing who they truly are. So this physics paper is designed to get you out of the box, and this might look all advanced, but I go through all of it, and I'll do it again. Any other comments?
Yeah. Edway asked, what are they blocking out in the sunrise and sunset every day?
Why are they? I'm sorry, what?
He says, what are they blocking out in the sunrise and sunset every day?
Oh, yeah. Oh boy. That's a big one. That's a big one. Radar, are you on the call? Radar, go off mute.
Yes.
Can can can
Yes.
can 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 you and Vegan talk for a minute? I have to take a 2 minute break. I'll be back. That's an in-depth question. I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys, and I'll answer that one.
Yeah. He said, what are they
The
blocking?
radar.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Now,
Hi.
one question I have, in this reality, do we have two suns or one?
Well, I mean, I know that they're doing a lot to hide the truth. I never even thought that we had two suns until you asked the question. But I mean, it's possible. I mean, there's so much they're doing to manipulate. I guess it's possible that that's definitely something you should ask Harmony. But like I've always thought that we. Oh yeah, those pictures that okay we might have to like the thing that like the double exposed. I think that that's a portal behind the sun. I don't know what the I don't know what the portal goes to, but I think that we have like I think that the extra sun is actually like a portal behind the sun, and that's what they're blocking out. Like I don't know what the portal goes to or anything, but it's,
I know there are pictures have been taken. It looks like there's two suns. But I don't know if the second sun
yeah.
is really a sun or not.
Yeah, and also like it's now like like it's now square instead of the like well cube sun instead of round like a round sphere sun. Like it's now cube, so in white instead of yellow.
Army, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, I asked the question of, in this reality, do we have two suns or one? I've seen pictures of two suns, but I don't know if the second one is really a sun or not. And is that what they're blocking out?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if y'all know me by now, when I speak from authority, I speak from authority. Sometimes I don't know. What I don't know, I don't know. So this is I will give you the disclaimer, I don't know. So everything I'm about to say, I don't know. What I'm going to tell you is to be like completely transparent, my observations. Um, I know for a fact the moon is completely out of whack. You know, the moon goes through certain cycles, and it's like 1 minute the moon is where it's supposed to be, and then it's where it should have been 2 weeks before, and then it's where it should be a week ahead of time, and then the moon is completely bizarre. The sun is completely bizarre. I've seen a lot of, you know, as you mentioned, good evidence for two suns. Is there two suns? I don't know. There's something that is going. There's something going on with the sun. Okay, we've seen a lot of photographs, and there's this hexagon pattern that comes out the sun. The sun, if you photograph it, has this huge X pattern to it, and X pattern is very classic of a reflector. There appears to be a shield in front of the sun, or one of the suns, whatever. And there's what's behind it doesn't appear to be a real sun. It's the sun, but not like as big as our sun. And then there's a device behind that who was feeding on it. We went on a mission and destroyed that, and was probably trying to reconnect. There's something going on with the sun. Um, it's being filtered, and apparently there's a lot of reports about, for example, this guy grows tomatoes in his backyard. He doesn't, it's completely organic. He's been growing tomatoes forever, and all of a sudden he knows when to pick his tomatoes, and they're red and ripe, and now he's cutting them open. They're green inside, and then you have industrial people reporting the same thing. It's like fruit and vegetation that things agriculture that we eat is not um, there seems to be worldwide reports of some issues. People are feeling really tired. My best recommendation for you is take vitamin D. Vitamin D is the same as natural sunlight. I think we are being deprived of the nutrients of the sun. In my opinion, I do sun gaze, and when I sun gaze, the sun actually turns black, and I see a shield in front of it, and you can see it with your own eyes. I do it about 15 minutes before sunset. I only do it for 30 seconds. Some people can do it longer, but I'm not up there. But it is last 15 minutes of the sunrise sunset. It's perfectly safe. I usually create like a little binocular image over my eyes to help filter the sun. It helps you relax a little. And you can look at the sun. You can see the energy pattern waving around it, and on Thursday, I think around 5 p.m., we had a solar wind come from it. There's just a lot of bizarre things happening with the sun. A lot of flashes coming from the sun. Um, if there's apps you can download. You can look at webcams all over the world, and in one part of the world, the sun's like, I'm going back to the moon. Sorry, digress. The moon will be a half moon on one part of the world, quarter moon on the other part of the world. So the moon is that if you watch webcams, which we do, we're seeing the moon in all different phases apparently at the same time, which is literally impossible. So are we, is there two moons, or are we looking into different realities? And there's just all this kind of bizarre stuff that we are currently investigating. I do not have any answers. I do not have any conclusions. I'm just noticing a lot of bizarre stuff. So we are currently in the information gathering phase about the sun and the moon, what's going on. We are in the process of trying to figure it out. I do not have any answers.
Okay. Ed Ray asks, do you revise your work and check it at every shift?
Say again, I'm sorry.
Do you revise your work and check it at every shift?
Who asked the question again?
Ed Ray.
I took a smoke break with Harmony. That's funny, Ed. I wasn't taking a smoke break. I was actually going to the restroom. But that was a good one. I'm sorry. All right. So we know. I'm trying to find the comment. Why am I seeing double moons, especially visible? Oh, you do. Hey, Ed, you're seeing the double moon? No way. I never maybe else saw the double moon before. Ed, I saw the double moon once. Broad daylight, dude. Tripped me out. I'm in broad daylight. It must have been 4 o'clock on like a Saturday. I look up, I see the moon, and the moon is so much closer here. I mean, I have image stabilizing binoculars, astronomical binoculars. I have a telescope. I got the whole 9 yards. I have like $2,000 of equipment to look at what's above us. I have solar filters. I do look up. And one day I looked up, and I swear to God I saw another moon right off our moon. I couldn't believe it. And it was like identical. And I was like, why am I seeing a second moon out in broad daylight? That was a trip. But I'm sorry. What was Ed's original question? Oh wait, quick shout outs. Hi Sarah. Yeah, we'll get in contact. And Robin, thank you for moderating. And anyway, I'm sorry. Go on with your question.
The
Oh, take your time. Hey, someone type a question because Vegan wants to read a question for us. Someone have a question.
Yeah, I'll read a different I'll read a different question. Bring back people if Mandela and Charlie Temple came back, and that's by fairy magic.
What the hell kind of question is that? Excuse my language.
I know we can't really control it, but that's just the first question I saw.
Hey, does everyone join the live show? Can anyone? No one in the chat ever joins the live show. It's kind of irritating. I think someone in the live stream should come. Oh, I'm still screen sharing. I didn't know that.
Last time you were live, I tried. I wanted to join, and I tried, and I couldn't do it. And then I think even the people who can do it are afraid of saying something wrong and being.
Ah, who cares?
I found the question that was Edway asked, do you revise your work and check it at every shift?
Do I check my work every shift? No.
Okay. He also asked, how many light spectrums do ETs become visible in or at all?
Beyond the human spectrum, a lot of them. Well, if they're not beyond the human spectrum, if they are within our spectrum, they have a suit that they wear and it covers their entire body except for their eyes. And their eyes kind of look red. So they also have a bubble technology that can actually come into your home. I don't know if I should say all this. They can come in your home and your dog can't even sense them. That's the thing that sucks. You can have like the meanest, baddest, Rottweiler, whatever, killed dog, and these guys they have this bubble. They can go right through your freaking wall. They're in a different dimension and they have this bubble around them. They can hang out in your house and check you out. The thing is that you can smell them and you can hear them. So if you smell something that stinks, they usually stink. And I suggest start burning some sage and open up the red little Bible and read the words of Jesus Christ and command them to be gone if that ever happens to you. But I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
Chance Briggs asked, is the Edda Moon purple? He said that his iPhone 7 Plus camera will pick up a purple moon behind the original moon.
Yeah, there's you can, yeah, that's true. You can see a moon behind the moon sometimes. That's indicative of a reality shift. When realities are about to shift into ours, you can, under certain circumstances, see the other reality merging in, and realities, in my opinion, are merging in. So, Ed Ray, what do you mean they came into your home when you were 5? For sure, you still have the scars. I don't know what you mean by that, but anyway. Oh, it's not your upper leg. They put it in your shin. It's a tracking device, Ed. I don't know what you said. I don't know why you said upper leg. They've never put it in your upper leg. They put it in your shin. It's a tracking device. So they usually don't put in your upper leg. They put in your shin. That's what I think you're talking about, Ed. I think I'm saying way too much. I'm gonna freak some people out. I think I'm saying too much. Well, if you're being freaked out by what I'm saying, contact me on Skype. I'll explain more in detail, I guess. I don't know. I think I'm blurting out too much information right now.
You're telling the truth, and that's important. I mean, there can't be too much truth put out.
Well, I mean, I don't want to. Oh, not all. Thank you, sir. Not all. Keep talking. Well, it's just I don't want to freak people out. Basically, I'll just give a funny story here. People are so worried about aliens invading. Well, not the people on this call. Out there somewhere, not these folks. I think everybody here is pretty in tune with what's going on, but um, the general public seems to have this great fear of aliens coming in and invading our planet. And the thing that they don't understand is we got invaded 65 million years ago. 65 million years ago, this place was set up for a very specific purpose and design. And these jerks, I hate this, I shouldn't say jerks. How do I say this politically correctly? I have to be nice to the universe.
Don't
These
don't say
beings,
politically correct.
now you have to be politically correct with them because I'll get my ass kicked. Excuse my language. If I speak bad of them, I'll pay for it. But anyway, I given the story before. They popped in from another universe, and we are malevolent and they're evil. And the first thing, it's kind of like if you went on to an evil, if you were to pop, we're in a good universe. Let's say we popped into their universe where everything's evil, and we think it's evil, and we come upon their world, and we're gonna go inhabit the world, and the first thing we want to do is make everything good. And the thing is, this happened 65 million years ago. There was a huge battle. They took over the damn Earth. They squashed all our, as we say, our learning schools, our education systems, the way to advance souls. This school, it's a school, and they took over the school 65 million years ago. The invasion took place a long time ago, and the general public's like, oh, they're gonna come and invade us today. No, I'm sorry. We've already been invaded. They're everywhere. I'm sorry. They live next door to you because they're hybrids, okay? I'm not talking about aliens living next door. There's tons. There's so many hybrids, and they're everywhere. You work with them. They're next door to you. You go to the grocery store. I mean, I'm sorry. They're hybrids all over this place living with us right now.
So so that's the reason why the mass majority like think that like are going to come in, and not that they are like, and they aren't thinking that they already have, is like, I mean, they have, I know they have, but is because of the mass media, like keep like the mass media keeps promoting putting out like alien movies, and oh, the aliens are coming, the aliens are coming, the aliens are coming. They keep putting out like that in the movie theaters. So like 65 million years ago, like they keep like that, they also are promoting that is like the dinosaurs extinction, like, oh, like something came, like the asteroid came, it struck it, and it wiped out all the dinosaurs. So I guess like I think that the like that date is like the reason of doing the 65 million years ago thing is, and they're promoting that is because, I mean, they need to put the truth out there, like, and they can't,
No,
like
no,
they
no, 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 no. What's happening is they screwed up. Okay, they screwed up. The powers that be screwed up, and the benevolent beings are ready to come in. So what they want to do is they want to control the story. So if the benevolent beings are going to finally step in and say hello to everybody, they want to create a fear factor. They want to control the story. They want to say, "Oh, these aliens are coming in to invade us. They're bad guys. They're this, they're that," and that's what the propaganda is, and that's why they don't come down and help us. Is because people are gonna. I mean, okay, I'll give you an example. We all are well aware of the famous War of the World, where they broadcasted on the radio about an
yeah.
alien invasion, and it was over the radio. I don't even think they had TV back then. It was over the radio, and there's this one town where everybody completely forgot the geography of their town. They walked outside because everybody has a freaking gun and shotgun in America. Tell me about it. Yeah, that's why the Japanese won't invade us. They say every blade of grass has a gun behind it. We are so well armed. So anyway, they went out in this town and they're like, "Oh, there's the alien ship," and they start blasting away at it. And they woke up in the morning and figured out they you know put like 100 bullet holes in their water tower. They're shooting at their water tower, thinking it was a freaking alien ship. They flipped out. And you wonder why the beloved beings aren't going to come down and land is because number one, the powers that be are controlling the story. They don't want to scare humans, and it's just. I mean, they would love to come down and help, but the majority of the population just won't accept it very well.
Like, I know the majority of the population, like, I mean, they're so focused on the TV, and they're so like because of all the propaganda that's put out over it. Like did they like so I get, yeah, that, like, and that, you're right, and that is why they're not coming. Is there any way like that we could like get rid of the TV or something to make people not so mind controlled?
Well, yes, we could hijack their signal and put a more benevolent signal into it.
How do we do that?
Oh, I can't talk about that live. Well, live, the best way is what I always say again, get connected back to source God creator and shine like a pillar of light under this world. And when you create this massive energy field around you of pure love and peace, it throws out the negative energy. And it could throw out, because, well, why do you think they took TV off the airways? TV is now digital. They switched to digital for a reason. I'm not going to get into all that, but they basically, as a collective consciousness, beloved beings could tap into that frequency and change it and reverse the brainwashing.
So they made it like they switched it to make it harder to hack and harder to so we can't actually switch it as easy.
I honestly can't remember the reason. I would have to like Google it right now. Why do we go from analog to digital? I'm going blank on the reason. Of course, what you Google is going to be the party line. Um, I'm sorry, I'm tired. I can't think of the reason why they did it at the moment. Maybe someone in chat can remind me why did we go from analog to digital? Anyway.
So Edway asked, does the majority have to consent for them to them? Does the majority have to consent to them coming?
Yes. Ed, there are multiple groups of human beings that have, let's say, for lack of better words, woken up. And I have a group there who does that. There's another group. What's his name? Riona Coffee in the morning. That guy. I know he seems like a total hippie stoner, but he's brilliant. There's other people I can't think of right now. There's a lot of YouTubers and people that are not even on YouTube, and there's a lot of groups that are working in concert together. You've heard the word the three waves, the Indigo Children, and all those names. It's all very true. The cry has been heard all throughout the universe, and beings have actually volunteered to incarnate into this physical form to help raise use that word, consciousness of this place. The problem is that the minute you come in here, you're like wiped clean of, because this reality, its density is so low. And when you are let's say, whatever, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th dimension, even fifth dimension being, when you come into this physical realm, you immediately forget all the higher realms. It's called duality. And as you go through life, you begin to wake up to who you truly are, and then you experience duality. You experience the life that you're living right now, and you also experience the life of who you truly are. And some people lose their sanity when this happens, is the issue. But what you have to understand is real. You can be a biological unit, which you are, and you are connected to your higher true self. And you have to be able to learn how to integrate this properly so you don't lose your mind and you can have a working relationship with your higher self who is connected to God. And then that's when you can become a true, as they say, worker of light.
And Ed Ray also asked, are stars living creatures?
Oh, that one? That's synchronicity. Hmm. The answer is yes. All stars, all planets have a consciousness. Everything is alive. The whole universe is alive, including the dirt beneath your feet. There's a consciousness here as well.
Um, Ed
Well,
Ray, you said that you're Ed Ray, you said that you're in the group. What's your name on the Discord group? I know that you're not like, but I'll ask another question. I just wanted to ask Ed Ray that question. But So Chance Briggs asked, can Harmony tell us what he thinks the government tell us when he thinks the government will make it official that aliens live among us?
they don't ever want that to happen.
Yep, they can they control.
No, that they don't ever want that to happen. They want to keep you in the dark. Radar, are you still there? Can you go off mute?
Yes, I'm still here, and I have a question for you.
Well, actually, I'm going to take another 1 minute break. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, so just talk to my friend here.
Well, I'll ask a question so we can
Hi,
speculate.
Radar.
Someone may know. Harmony just said that there are hybrids everywhere. There are tons of hybrids. And they talked about, well, sometimes the benevolent beings incarnate here, forget everything from the higher dimensions. Then people, I guess, discover that their higher self is there and connect. My question is, if you're a hybrid, do you know? Do you know that? And if you do, how would you know that? Have you heard anything about that?
Well, with hybrids, I honestly don't know. I can give you, I can speculate, but like, I mean, Harmony would like, I think Harmony, well, definitely Harmony would definitely know better, but like, I can speculate while he gets back. I guess, my guess is, like, hybrids know. My guess is hybrids know that they're hybrids, and they're just like, and they're maybe there are some that don't. I honestly don't know. Um, I'm guessing that the majority would know that they're hybrids. But I honestly don't know.
I was wondering if they do things like they create a hybrid, then put it in a like human woman's womb, and she has the baby, and thinks it's her baby, but it's a hybrid. I don't know that hybrid would ever know. I'm speculating.
Harmony, are you back?
Yeah, I was asking about hybrids. How would hybrids know that they're hybrids, or do they know that they're
Oh
hybrids?
yeah. Can you hear me again?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, somebody asked that question earlier in the chat. I meant to ask that question. I think it was Ed. He said, "Hey, something like, how do you recognize hybrids?" The answer is you can't.
But can the hybrid
But
recognize themselves as a hybrid? Do they know?
In general, no.
So you could be a hybrid and never know it.
I answered that question wrong. I'm sorry. I was thinking about when you're driving down the road, they can't tell the difference between a hybrid and a human because it's the car they drive. There's a technology that they have in their car that lets other hybrids and aliens know who they are. So I'm sorry I was answering that question, which I didn't mean to answer. But hybrids, the, they are so close to human that they can't even tell each other apart. But they have signals and ways and certain codes to say, so they know each other. The funny thing is they don't recognize each other by sight. They have to use code words. It's kind of like if you're a spy going into Germany, you're going to meet somebody. You don't know who the freaking spy you're supposed to meet is. You have a code word. It's like, oh, it's always sunny in New York. I don't know. There's code words.
Ed Ray asked, "Is this body somebody else's, and are so any in a way a vehicle of a vehicle sorts?"
Is this body actually someone else's and our source or energy possessing them in some way? Wow, Ed, you're killing me tonight. In a good way, not a bad way. Um,
Yeah, he asked us some questions.
they're just so long and in depth. I, if we were on a Discord conference call, Ed, I would speak more freely. In my opinion, I really think I said way, way too much tonight. Um, so Ed, your question alludes to one of the. I'm always working on multiple theories at a time, because that's what you do. You have to think of the unlimited, and shoot, I have to go and get my door. Hold on, Cody, don't you have your key? I'm on the phone. Yeah, hold on a second. All right. No, I got it.
Rita, are you there?
Hang on.
Yes, I'm here. I'm on mute when I've had problems with sound with their sounds being picked up even when there's no sound here. I don't have the air conditioning going, refrigerator isn't going, there's no TV, no radio, and I've got complaints that it sounds like there is. Maybe there's an echo or something. So
Yeah, Radar, you have an echo.
okay, so I'm always on mute.
No, but your echo's not so bad. I can handle it.
Okay, I'm going on mute again.
Yeah, you have an echo, but it's. I mean, I can. It's not so bad that I can't talk to you. Anyway,
what's the echo from? Can I get rid of it? I'd like to get rid of it.
you're not live on YouTube. You're just in Google Hangout.
Right now.
Well, here, let me see if I can go Google Hangout and fix it for you. Let me go to your settings. All right. Try now. Talk. Dale, talk. Dale, you're on mute.
Okay, oh, testing 1, 2, 3.
Say it again.
Testing, it says Harmony Mandela effect adjusted your volume.
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out another day. You're fine. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. You're okay. Yeah, the echo's not that bad. Ed, if you're on Discord, the question you just asked me, you can ask me on Discord. That's one of my working theories, and I don't want to go public with a working theory. So, anybody else have a question?
Well, I want to say that like Ed, you should definitely join the like the conference call like sometime, and like we can like every like join the conference call, and they can like so everybody on Discord everyone in Discord can talk to you and ask you questions, and like you asked some really great questions.
I'm pretty tempted to answer this question. If it wasn't live, I'd still answer that question. Hey, Ed, can you read? Okay, I'll have fun here. So the question Ed wrote is the body actually someone else's and our soul or energy is possessing them in some way, a vehicle of sorts? So what, and I'm going to speak to that for a minute, but if you can retype your question more specific after I answer this, because I'm just going to give the generic Christian answer. We are physical beings, biological units, and we have souls and spirits that are possessing the physical biological unit. So in reality, we are hijackers. We are the body snatchers. What kind of agreement do we have between the soul and the biological unit? I don't know. Did the biological unit agree to have this soul, the spirit, come in and possess it? It's a philosophical question and debate, and it's a paramount one. It's a paradigm shift. You know, who are we? Who gave us the right to come into these biological units? What is the arrangements we had? How does all that work? Because in reality, we are spiritual beings possessing a biological unit. And when the biological unit dies, we move on. And where do we move on? Well, we're supposed to go to what is known as the temple of healing and be healed and move on. And then you go back to source God creator, or you can go live a life as some other alien in the universe. You can do whatever you want. My opinion is that the temple of healing and got taken over. This is complete blasphemy, but I don't believe heaven is heaven. It is taken over by the archons and run by the archons. You go to the temple of healing, you get healed enough because it's not at full power. They show you this nice mansion and this heaven place, and you hang out and everything's wonderful. And then they come knocking on your door one day and they say, guess what? You're not advanced enough soul and you need to go back and learn these lessons. And they trick you into using your free will against you. You see, the thing is, you have free will, and they are so overpowering, and you think they're these god angels, benevolent beings, and you listen to them and you believe them that you are not a superior being, and you have to go back to earth and learn a new lesson. And so you are now using your free will to come back here. And I believe that they are tricking us into coming back onto earth and take another physical life. And this is what is called the karmic wheel of reincarnation. And the Buddhists even show a demon at the bottom of the wheel eating and tearing up and spinning stuff around. And I believe this is a complete system of being trapped. And the cries have been heard out, and everybody is sick of it. We're done. I don't want to come back to this earth anymore. I don't know about you. You know, forget this place. I want out of here. I want to go back to the creator. I'm sorry. But meanwhile, I got this crappy assignment to try to fix this place. So I'm just trying to do my best to help people and fix things and give some enlightenment and share some knowledge that won't totally terrify people, because it's terrifying when you know what's going on. But you get over the terror because
It's
you understand that God is in control. And once you get connected back to Source God Creator, then that resolves all the fear. The thing is that we are human beings and we have this disconnect from our Father in heaven. There's this big disconnect. And as we rise up in awareness, we bump against usually the first realm is what we, I don't know, just call it the dynamic realm, I don't know, whatever, the bad juju realm. And the first thing they try to do is give you fear, and they try to throw you back into your physical body and make you a fear and say, I gotta pay the rent, I gotta pay the bills, and they give you all these distractions, and they distract you and distract you and distract you because they don't want you to wake up. They don't want you to know who you truly are. So simply rise all above all that and get connected back to True Source God Creator and remove all that fear and realize who you are and step out as a true being, you know, preaching, I guess.
So, so with the like we're spiritual beings possessing a biological unit. What happens to the biological unit when the biological unit dies? Because we go on, like what happens to the biological unit?
Well, of course, it dies and goes 6 feet under, but the lessons that were learned are taken with you. And then you go to the temple of healing, and all the things that were negative, the things that are not productive, all the things that will hinder your advancement as a soul are immediately washed away as if they never happened, and you retain all the good stuff. And you learn from all the good stuff, get rid of the bad. But in essence, the consciousness is remained intact, and it becomes a part of you even at the cleansing. And so you take.
That's what happens to us, but like the biological unit, I mean, so they agreed to let us inhabit them, and they when they like when the biological unit dies, that the one that agreed to let us inhabit them, do they just stop their consciousness just stop existing, or are they aware of everything that's happening while we're and just can't do anything?
Well, like I said, when you die, you maintain the part of the consciousness of the biological unit that benefits you.
Oh, okay.
And so you take all the benefits up to the temple healing and you get cleansed. Once you're cleansed, you're now pure, white as snow, as the Bible says, and then you are free to move on anywhere in the entire universe. The problem is that the temple healing got taken over by, I hate using the words, we'll just say archons. And the temple healing is supposed to be powered out at 100% to completely cleanse you. They have it powered down to 50%. So it's just enough to get rid of the riffraff, to kind of like give you a little R&R, take a vacation to Hawaii kind of thing, relax. And then they're like, okay, now it's time to go do it all again. Now, if the temple healing was powered at full force, you, after your cleanse, you are completely pure, and then you're free to go anywhere in the universe. They've taken over the power of healing.
So
So
like while
now when souls die, they don't get the full cleansing, and then they get trapped into the system where they believe they have to come back and live another life. Souls are being tricked, and their free will is being used against them to come back to Earth. And no one wants to come back here anymore, and everybody is bitching and crying and moaning and saying, will you freaking free me from this crap? I want off this karmic wheel. It's like the karmic wheel is a roller coaster, goes round and round and round, makes you dizzy. Who the hell wants to be on that damn thing? Get on and get off.
yep.
It's time. It's
So
time. It's time for everyone to go home. Basically,
it is.
all the
Yeah.
realities are merging. All the splits, all the fractals, they're all coming back together, back to the original river of life, and we are going to return this to its original state and its original purpose, and then we can all go home. That is the purpose. Now is the time. Teach the whole world. Andara shitara hashitara. We are all going to go home, folks. We're going home.
Yep.
Forget this physical world. you know, I know you have families and friends and stuff, but your family can go with you, and we are going to simply rise above and move to another place and get out of here. We're done. This place is shutting down, folks. I'm sorry, you know, there- you know, it's the last act of the concert. It's over. It's time to turn off the lights and it's time to go home, people. Seriously, it's time to go home. We all need to go home. We've had enough.
Yeah.
I've got a question though. Um, you know about Jesus and his death on the cross and his blood. Why doesn't that cleanse us? And that's what I've always learned, that his blood is most holy and it cleanses anything it touches.
That works in the physical realm, but I'm talking about the spiritual realm.
I thought it cleansed our spirits from all evil so that we become as pure and righteous as Jesus. So that gives us the right to go to, or the ability to go to heaven and be with God because we're 100% righteous. Did I remember
Well,
correctly?
well, the thing is, in that that's true if you can hold on to that belief. The thing is that that religious teaching has a whole bunch of loopholes where you're going to be condemned by God and you're going to be judged, and there's a whole bunch of other things that they threw into that system. So if you can hold on to that one truth, sure, that works. The problem is in religion, there's too many loopholes that throw you back into holes. And to learn in the Bible, it's 90% truth and 10% lie. I'm sorry, is written through. The Bible isn't written by men, okay? Everybody knows that, and they threw in
So
a couple lies.
yeah. So the like while we're here, like here in this cycle, and we're like we each time we agreed to we make an agreement with biological unit to come here and inhabit them, but like we merge with the biological unit, and we take them and we keep and each time we come back here we collect another one and we collect another one and so we're basically like actually dying and we're so they'll become a part of us.
We're all one in reality. That's a bizarre concept. Basically, God branches out himself out into a bunch of little pieces, and then your higher self branches himself out into a whole bunch of pieces. And there's a piece, 5% of you here and 5% on another Earth, and there's multiples of you all over the place. We're spread pretty thin right now.
So we need to start collecting
Right,
ourselves and
exactly. Go on. I didn't mean to cut you off.
um so what's the best way to what's the fastest way to collect ourselves all back together?
It just happens naturally, and that's what the Mandela effect is.
Okay. Um, so the benevolent beings are doing the Mandela effect to help us
Oh no, no, it's
to
both.
help
It's not benevolent. It's both.
oh they're both causing Mandela effects, like the demons and the benevolent beings.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, um, here's a question from the chat. Uh, Linda Creel one asked, are there are the what are your thoughts on the days of darkness?
The days of darkness.
3 days of darkness, but
Are you going back in the
Linda,
Old Testament, or what? Are you? Oh, great, I have an echo. Damn it. Sorry, I have an echo. All right, go on.
Every Days of Darkness are, but I just saw that comment in the live. Um, do you know what the are?
I think they're referring to Revelation. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it's an Old Testament. There's an Old Testament reference and a New Testament reference. I don't know which one he's talking about. Can you hear me chewing my potato chips?
Yes, I can. It's fine now.
Yeah, Robin, if I could play music, I'll play some Bob Marley right now. When you go live, you can't hear anything that my computer plays. It's kind of weird. Some Bob Marley music. Um,
It probably wouldn't be a good idea to play
Every
Bob Marley
little
because
thing gonna be all right. Don't worry. That's not Bob Marley, is it? Anyway, now, now she got in the mood for Bob Marley. I love reggae. Reggae can put you into some really good moods. I'm telling you.
so Ed Ray asked, is the Bible a way for the elites or whoever to put their plans in our face, so to speak?
Who asked the question?
Ed Ray.
Yes, Ed Ray. I'm hungry. Anyway, the layers are emerging. What's the question from Ed again?
It you
Oh,
saw the hungry
is
question.
is
It's
is the
the
Bible
Bible.
a way for the elites or whoever to put their plans in our face? Well, yeah, God. I mean, it sounds like total blasphemy, but I'm sorry, folks. Just I don't know how to say this. You know, I'm a Christian. You know, I'm doing the prayer request. I believe in the power and the spirit of the Holy Spirit, and Jesus Christ. I call it the Christ consciousness. Whether or not he died on the cross or not, it doesn't matter. He was a real being. He was a prophet. He spoke amazing words of wisdom, and we need to take the good from the past. The thing is, the Bible has 10% lies in it. For example, it wants to teach that we are separated from God because of the original sin. I'm sorry. Do you know how long ago that freaking happened? I'm sorry, because Adam and Eve were told not to partake from the tree of knowledge, and they did, and supposedly I'm damned forever because of what they did, and Christianity wants you to believe that okay, so who are you? God created you. So God created. He's omnis I can't even talk right now. He's all powerful, what's that word? Omniscient, omnipotent. I'm stuttering. And so he's this pure being, and he creates this pure life form, puts it into a man and a woman, and you're born, and you are immediately born into sin. That's what the Bible teaches. You're born into sin, and you're condemned to go to hell forever. And what did I do? Oh, I'm sorry. You created me, and you threw me into this biological unit, and I was born, and because I'm born, now you're going to condemn me to hell forever, unless for somehow magically, um, throughout my life, if you're lucky, if you die by the age of 7, by the way, according to almost all religions, it seems like, if you die by the age of 7, you get a free pass to heaven, because that is called the age of accountability. You're not accountable for your actions before the age of 7. So if you're lucky, you get to die at the age of 7. You get a free pass to heaven according to Christianity. I'm sorry, it's in the Bible. It's true. And so let's say you live past the age of 7, and now you're condemned, and you're going to go to hell forever, unless somehow you magically discover Jesus Christ. I really feel sorry for the little apparitions and the forest that haven't even discovered fire yet. Okay, because those people haven't heard about Jesus Christ. But okay, so if you don't hear about Jesus Christ, if you do not accept him as your Lord and Savior, you're going to go to hell and burn forever. Well, what if you never heard the word? Oh, here's something people don't know. I'm going to teach you something that Christians won't teach you. Here's the loophole. God puts his moral law into your heart. So God puts his moral law into your heart so all people know the difference between right and good. And with this moral law, when you live your life, at the end, if you live by God's moral life, you can be saved without Jesus Christ. People don't know that, but it's a loophole. That's the loophole. But still, the point is, that's just freaking ridiculous. That's not my God. My God is a loving God, and there's no way he's going to put me on this earth and say, you're damned to the eternity of hell because you don't know about my son. You just, come on.
So
What does the Bible teach? You know, he's the God of love. What's love? Is a loving God going to condemn his child, a human being? I guess some humans would, but in general, benevolent human beings are not going to condemn their child to hell. I mean, it just, I get irritated with that story. So in my opinion, that's one of the lies that are put into the Bible.
the the benevolent, like, so if Jesus did exist, like, do you think it's celestial? Do you actually think he actually came down to Earth, or do you think it was just an event that happened,
No, Jesus Christ
like
really
in
lived.
the
He's a real human
in
being.
on Earth?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
he was born. He
so
lived. He walked the planet. No, Jesus Christ was a real human being. Was he the Son of
so
God? Was he a prophet? But he really lived. And
okay.
there's a lot of people in the chat right now that are saying he didn't die on the cross. And what I want to say to the people in the chat, and if you can Google real quick, because I'm too busy talking live, um, they found Jesus Christ's remains in a tomb, and they found, his wife. Believe it or not, Jesus Christ had a wife and some other relatives, and it's I believe it or not, my degrees. I can look at Hebrew and Greek. I can interpret it, and I saw the Greek writing, and I'm sorry, it wasn't Greek, the Hebrew writing, and I looked it up, and sure enough, I mean, they found the tomb where Jesus Christ and his relatives were. Apparently somebody else died on the cross. But you know what I say to all that? It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Because the words of Jesus, 90% of that Bible, if you have any intelligence, you can read the Bible and you can gather the truth from that. And I think that's why they're changing our Bibles. But there's what is known as the
So Ed,
Christ. It doesn't matter if Jesus Christ died on the cross or not. He lived, okay? And a lot of people believe he died on the cross. And they believe in this story about how they were separated from God and that they could never bridge the gap and enter the kingdom of heaven unless some kind of sacrifice was paid. And this is embedded in thousands of years of culture. And Jesus Christ fulfilled that requirement. It's called the appropriations of sin. Jesus Christ took upon all the sins of the world on him when he died on the cross. And a lot of people believe that. And that's sent out, it's called a backfire. The Illuminati, Rosicrucians, I don't care what you want to call them, they did not expect people to actually believe this and be free of all guilt and all sin. So it doesn't matter if it's true or not, it sent out a wave of energy all throughout this planet that has survived for thousands of years. And to this day, you really can believe in the power of the Christ consciousness, and you can plead the blood of Jesus Christ, and you can, all the things in the Bible that talks about the proclamations, put on your Ephesians, put on your armor of God. I mean, all that stuff, it's real. and it really does work in spiritual warfare. And those are the things we need to focus on, the positive things.
Um, Ed Ray asked, "Did Cain and Abel have different fathers? Was Eve raped in the garden from behind? Thus, the reason missionary position only."
No. The missionary position came from literally missionaries went down to Africa and they saw these black people having sex in all kinds of wild positions and they thought it was of the devil and they went about teaching these people in Africa how to have sex in what they called the missionary position. So that's where the missionary position came from. It came from missionaries who went to Africa and were disgusted by all the crazy sex positions that they displayed and said, no, that's all wrong. That's not love. You guys are, excuse my language, fucking. And that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to create a union and be one with God. And this is, how you do it. You lay on top of each other and you connect your souls together. And it's a bonding experience. And you're supposed to be experiencing love, not this um, barbaric animal thing. So that's where the missionary position came from.
Ed Ray also asked, "Was Cain the devil's son and Abel Adam's
No,
father?" Okay. And he also asked, "But were we recreated by the archons, thus the two creation stories in the Old Testament?"
oh my gosh, Ed, you just need to come on the show. You're asking too many questions. Why don't you just come on the show? Do I have to put the link up again? Anyway. Oh, I like that one. That's a good joke. Fornication upon consent of the son, the king. All right. Party puppy. Oh, yeah, I know that joke. Oh, that's a good one. Party puppy. Thank you. Thank you for making me laugh. That's a good one. Hey, here, let's tell a joke since he got me in the mood for a joke. Maybe you've all heard this before. But anyway, so the Pope, he dies and he goes to heaven and he's greeted by God, and God says, "What would you like to do in heaven? You can do anything you want." And the Pope says, "I want to read the original text of the Bible." He says, "Sure." So he guides him into the library, and he pulls out the original text of the Bible and puts it on the table for him, and he shuts the door and leaves him alone. And after about an hour, they hear all this crying and the yelling and the screaming, and oh my God, oh I can't believe it, and they're all freaking out. They're like, angels, Archangel Michael, I mean, everyone, God, they all, Jesus, they all come running in. They're like, "What's wrong, Pope?" And the Pope says, "It says celebrate, not celibate." I
Yep.
hope, I hope somebody got that joke. Celebrate sex, don't celebrate. Anyway, it's a joke.
I got it.
Yeah, anyway, haha.
Ed Ray asked, "Why would God not take Cain's sacrifice then?"
Why wouldn't he take what?
Um, I think he's referring to like, well, he says like, "Why would like God not take Cain's sacrifice?" I think like Cain made a sacrifice in the Bible, and God
I don't.
didn't.
I'm sorry. I don't want to get into the Adam and Cain thing. I guess here. I'll just be transparent. I'm ignoring that question on purpose. I don't want to go into Abel and Cain.
Okay.
It is the first murder in the Bible. I will say that, and I think everybody knows that. The very first murder in the Bible is Abel and Cain, and I don't even want to get into all that. So
Okay. Um, he also asked, that's the oh wait, that's oh are we currently in the forms of the fallen angels of blasphemy to the Lord God's creation?
who asked that question?
Ed Ray.
Oh
He's asking all the
damn it! Oh my
questions.
gosh, who the hell are you, Ed Ray? I can't believe you. Oh my god. You oh, I tell you what, you should be an interrogator or reporter. You caught me in a mood where I'm willing to talk. I probably shouldn't say too much. What the hell? What was the question again? All right. So basically, oh Jesus. Oh, excuse my language. How many of you are watching? Well, there's only 23 now, but uh, yeah, when this goes live, no one's going to listen to this for 2 hours to hear this answer. So what the heck? Um, I have some the first two videos that I ever made. I have an echo. Somebody gives me. Is that you? Okay, echo. Okay, echo gone. All right. So my very first two videos I ever made, well, on this channel, is quantum healing hypnosis therapy, and I basically explain everything that happened. It's two 45-minute parts. It's an hour and a half. Highly recommend you listen to it. Basically explains everything that's happening. Um, basically, there were some beings that were created that should have never been created. I'll just say that. We call them demons, and we didn't know what to do with them. So we split the universe, known as the Big Bang, and we separated physical matter from spiritual. And that's how you get the field of quantum physics and the field of general relativity. And in the middle is what is known as the invisible realm when you go through my paper. What happened is, let's just blame Lucifer since we'll go along with the Bible. He ran off. They say he was jealous of God. Okay. What does jealous of God mean? He wanted to create. He only got to create. I have an echo again, so I'm going mute. So he wanted to create, and he went off grid, and I go into this in one of my papers. It's probably my third paper. And he took a third of the angels, and he knew how to create, and they want to create a life form. The thing is that they were jealous and angry and all these emotions that were never in existence before. So when they created this being, they bestowed and forced all these negative emotions into that being when they created it, and that's how the demon was created. They did not mean to create a demon; they just want to create a life form. But unfortunately, because they're going behind God's back, all that negative energy and emotions that had never been in existence before that time got created. And then it went back onto the grid, and everybody freaked out and said, "What the hell's going on? What is this species? It's creating havoc." And the thing is, we couldn't correct it because in order to correct it would mean to kill a life form, and it goes against the prime directive of killing a life form. So the 24 elders got together and they met and they decided to split the universe, and that is what you know as a Big Bang. And I explained this. This part is in my paper, and the universe was expanded, and so physical matter and the third of the angels and these demons were cast in the physical universe. And so, yes, there are a lot of demons that are in human form, and for them, they are supposed to be learning and going through life lessons and growing and all that stuff. And that was the original purpose 65 million years ago. And then they got taken over and everything got screwed up. And now these, as you say, demons in human form that are supposed to be learning our methods, and we're supposed to be bringing them back to the creator, and they're supposed to be learning our ways. Instead, this place got taken over, and now they're learning their ways and becoming more stronger in their ways. And now they're a huge opposition, and you know, that's becoming a problem.
Demons that are inhabiting humans are like, can they reform and can they become like, can they actually be
Well,
become good? And
that was the original purpose, but it got taken over, and the school got changed.
well, or any of them changing, or are they all just sticking with
So
the
no,
old
lots have
ways?
changed. No, lots have changed. Billions, billions have changed. No,
It's good
billions.
that some of the demons are changing to good.
No, billions, billions. I mean, like billions and billions have changed. They have. They really have. And they actually get converted to the point where they work for us and actually become angels of light. That has happened for real, no joke.
Okay. So the ones that like, what's holding back the is there gonna like, is it possible that all of them change, or do you think that like it's more likely that like that they're not like that now all of them are gonna change, and like if the ones that like refuse to change, they can completely never change, what happens to them?
Well, we do know that there are some that never, ever, 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 ever will change. So those are marked. They have been bagged and tagged, and we know who they are. There's another group that might change, but we don't think so. There's another group that wants to change, but it's trapped, and we need to enlighten those people and help them change. There's another group that is enlightened and is changing. There's multiple groups and multiple stages. And everybody's so impatient because we all want the world to change tomorrow. The thing is, it's not an overnight process. We have been working on this for millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of years. And it's going to continue for a little bit longer. But the thing is, don't give up hope, and it's kind of like you know you're not going to wake up and go to your job forever, but you still wake up and go to your job, right? So you still have to wake
Yep.
up every day and do your spiritual job in the universe and help this place grow and help its vibrational frequencies and help other beings and little acts of kindness and sometimes we think we make a big sacrifice, but to be honest, sometimes the littlest things you ever do are the most meaningful things in life.
I know that like time works different here than like time moves way slower here than it does on the other side. So like just a little bit longer. Like, do you think that could be millions of years?
Well, the Bible says, one day with the Lord is like 1,000 days on earth. That's the physics of general relativity.
So it physically could be millions of more years.
Not for us. No,
Okay.
no, no, no. I see a huge resolution within the next 50 years.
Well, 50 years is definitely like that's definitely good if it's at like 50. I mean, it's definitely good that it's at 50 years and not millions of years. Like it's
No,
definitely
no,
like
we're done. We're tired. We've had enough.
yay,
No,
yay.
we've in lots of groups. We're doing a lot of spiritual work. We're working with all kinds of beings in the universe. We're serving eviction notices. We're clearing out the negative energy. We're getting the bad guys out of here. There's trillions, zillions of angels that are in this sector helping us right now as we speak. And with that, I'm going to take another 2-minute break. I'll be back. Radar, are you
Okay.
there? Radar, go off mute.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, well, we'll talk to my friend. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Anything you want to
So
talk
what do you think, Radar?
about? Well, I'm thinking that what he's saying about Jesus ties into something else he's talked about you create your own reality. That's his theme, and because of that, he said you'll get all the negative thoughts out of you. Think peace, harmony, love, good, and then I'm thinking if you believe the Bible, then what happens is you must create your own reality that what the Bible says is true.
Oh, like the Bible's been written by humans like put a whole bunch of uh, like even if there was an original like I don't even think there was an original Bible, but even if there was an original Bible, there's been so many lies put into it that it physically can't like it can't be believed anymore. You just have to like I mean there's uh, like they're manipulating it, and it's like they've changed it. There's been Mandela effects on it. It's been changed by from the beginning from human hands when humans either wrote it or rewrote it, and like so it's definitely been changed in the physical form, and it's also been changed in the spiritual form with the Mandela effect. So you can't believe anything you read in the Bible anymore.
But what I see him saying is that you create your own reality by the things you believe. So even if the Bible isn't true, but you believe it, you then create that reality and it becomes true.
And Byron was talking about how there were loopholes in the in the Bible for the like that put it in favor of the demons, since since the demons act since the demons were controlling the humans that wrote it, they wrote it to put them in the better position to get people to reincarnate here. So that I think that the demons put so many loopholes to make it so that people who just follow the Bible blindly and like everything's 100% fact, they're going to be continued stuck in the cycle and keep coming back and you can't just blindly follow something that's written by or rewritten by a demon. And you have to you have we have to figure out what's really going on, and we're doing that now. And we're I mean we don't have all the answers. Harmony doesn't have all the answers. No, I don't think anybody especially I don't think anybody on the physical earth has all the answers. But we're learning, and we're trying to figure it out, and we're doing our best, and we're putting our heads together and trying to figure out what's going on with this reality.
But you still come back to what he said about you create your own reality. So if you believe something to be true, it's true for you. I don't
It's
think any. Yeah.
but it's truth. It, even it so with the with the Bible, it's been it's at the very least been rewritten by demons. So they did put the loopholes into it, and they so there's so many different outs for the demons to get people to come back. And it's that it's just blindly following anything that they set out there. It's not really it's not healthy to just blindly just oh, this is real. We just have to take this as 100% fact. I mean, you have to go search for the truth. You have to go through multiple sources and find out the right answers. And I don't think that I don't think you should just follow the like um by follow even if it had original truth in it at some point, even if it retains some original truth. I mean, you at least have to look through multiple sources and multiple things to figure it out.
But what he's saying is,
I think almost back.
if you believe something to be true, it's your reality, even if it's false. I have some examples. Harvey's back. We could go back to the other subject.
I'm back.
And I just the point we were discussing is that you were teaching that we create our own reality, so we should eliminate all the negative thoughts and bring in love, truth, peace. And I was going
Oh
from
wait,
that.
come here. Hey guys, you can hear me?
Yes,
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So how are you guys doing? Are we ready to end the show here, or?
yes.
But Raven Star has a question, and can I ask her question?
Sure. I got 5 more minutes.
Okay. What about MK Ultra mind control? How can you tell if a person is under it, and how can you help them?
Raven is asking that question.
Yep.
If you know somebody who's experiencing that, I do know someone who's an expert in that field. I am not, but I can put that person in touch with someone who's a real, genuine, real. She went through MK Ultra. She had the whole like Corey Good talks about the regression therapy, the whole 9 yards. Um, what's her name? Lindsay Hooper. So I can put you in direct contact with that expert. I am not an expert on MK Ultra, but it's real. I mean, and if you know, what's her name? Eisenhower. I forgot her name. She went through some similar experiences, which are real. So yeah, all that stuff's real.
Ed Way asked, what do the sheep in the Bible represent?
The children of God.
Um, do, do the fallen angels worship Eve or the feminine?
Do they worship what?
Did they worship Eve or the feminine?
I'm not sure about that one. But you guys, I have to go. My
Okay.
IT person just arrived. He's trying to help me rebuild my computer. So my IT guy just got here. I do have to abruptly end the show. I'm missing a lot of programs. So thank you everybody for listening. God bless. Always pray as the sun sets and rises and get connected back to a true source God creator. You all have a good night. Take care.